Hello and welcome back to Shelf Stacking. Today I'm going to be looking at the Gamerverse Joe Fixit and deciding whether he still deserves a place on my shelf or if it's time for him to get flipped. This Build-A-Figure was part of a wave released in 2020 to coincide with the release of Marvel's The Avengers video game. The wave itself, like pretty much every Marvel Legends wave, is a mixed bag. Kang and Falcon are the two standouts, with Jocasta and Thunderstrike being a little more obscure. The two least desirable figures, Atmosphere Iron Man and Stealth Suit Captain America. Okay then, let's start with the positives. The colour and printing and design on the tie is crisp, clean and really pops. The paint applications and patterning on the shoes also deserves a special mention. Another positive is despite the different materials, they've done an excellent job colour matching between the softer overlay and the arms and leg. The figure also has a sizable shelf presence, and the sculpt and detailing overall isn't bad, just perhaps a bit bland. Though of course bland is not a quality you want in a Hulk figure, and if the most significant positives I can find are his tie and shoes, then that's really not a good sign. Remembering back to when the figure started appearing online prior to its release, there was a lot of criticism about the tone of grey used, with a lot of people saying his skin was too dark and oddly green. In hand I can say the figure doesn't read as green at all, but I think it is too dark. It's the combination of that darker grey and navy blue suit that makes it easy to give the skin a greenish tinge, particularly on camera, which trust me is far from ideal. My figure also suffers from some sloppy paint applications. Not uncommon with Hasbro figures from around this time, but given how little actual paint is applied to the figure, it's aggravating nonetheless. If you're familiar with similar figures like Mr. Hyde and Kingpin, there's nothing surprising here regarding articulation, but we can go over it quickly. The head sits on a dumbbell and will do a full 360, but the collar piece means the head can pop off easily. Tilt is pretty good side to side and forward, but is extremely limited going back. Full rotation at the shoulder, and a single joint at the elbow. No upper arm cut on this figure, but there is a swivel at the elbow and wrist. Hands have standard horizontal hinges, but the sculpted shirt cuffs don't allow you to do much with them. The suit overlay, although made from relatively soft plastic, does limit articulation, and there is no ab crunch. Backwards and lateral tilt at the waist is almost non-existent, but forward is quite good, and it will allow a full 360 swivel at the waist. The legs will split so far. They move forward and back a decent amount. His feet are mounted on ball joints with tilt and ankle pivot present, but again limited by the sculpt. The ball joints also mean the feet have a full 360 swivel, which does help for creating walking poses. Here's Joe Fixit with Hulk and She-Hulk, Tombstone and Jigsaw. And finally, Bucky Cap and Secret Wars Wolverine. Despite being based on at best an average video game, the real question is whether this figure does a good enough job of embodying the character so that it can work in a comics-focused collection. The first time I put it together and set it on my shelf, I would have said yes. The problem is the deluxe figure. It has better head sculpts and accessories, and in every way appears to be a better version of this figure. Overall, this figure screams rough first draft, one which really needed a second or third pass, which it eventually got. The figure is fine, and it's not like I have any particular attachment to this character, but if I'm going to own a Joe Fixit, it may as well be the deluxe version. At least that way it might spend time on my shelf instead of a plastic bin. That means that Joe Fixit gets the dubious honour of being the first figure to be kicked out of my collection. Congratulations, I guess. If you have any thoughts, comments, or pleas of clemency on behalf of Mr. Fixit, feel free to post them below. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And goodbye until next time.